in this program are purely their own and do not reflect those of Pinoy Radio. 2018 is the year where we at MCBN move much faster, live much higher, and make the team much stronger. We are here to continuously reinvent, redefine, with fresh and bold ideas every time. We are your MCBN. Everything else is as good as new. Ika'y nakikinig sa himpilan ng lahing kayumanggi. PinoyRadio.com.
Today's best of Filipino music. All day, every day. PinoyRadio.com.
Ito po ang inyong palatuntunang Radyo Pilipino, ang Talakayan, ang tinig ng Pilipino sa Toronto na sumasa inyo tuwing Sabado alas 11:30 ng umaga hanggang alas 12:30 ng tanghali dito sa himpilan ng Pinoy Radio. Layunin ng programang ito na makapagbigay ng kasiyahan at makapagdulot ng kaalaman, hatid ng paliwanagan at pagbatikos sa mga issue at problemang dumarating sa ating pang-araw-araw na buhay dito sa Canada. Kapayapaan, katotohanan at kalutasan ng mga suliranin ang aming hangad na ibigay sa inyo. At ngayon, ikinagagalak ng Pinoy Radio na ihatid sa inyo ang Talakayan. Radyo Pilipino, ang Talakayan.
Nakikinig po kayo sa Talakayan, ang tinig ng Pilipino sa Toronto.
PinoyRadio.com. Welcome to Dr. V. Santiago and Associates Family Dentistry. Complete dental care, general and specialty dentistry with trusted team of doctors, surgeon, periodontists, and dental hygienists. Now with 2 locations to serve you in the Greater Toronto area. Main branch at Toronto office, Rosedale Medical Clinic, 600 Sherbourne Street, Suite 307, Toronto. And its new office and clinic at Mississauga Marketplace Plaza, 4555 Herentaria Street, Unit C11. To learn more about Dr. Santiago and the Family Dentistry Canada, visit them online with their new website, thefamilydentistry.ca. For a TLC way of treatment, call 416-967-9272 or 905-272-3455. Dr. V. Santiago and Associates Family Dentistry.
Kahit anong ginagawa ninyo, makinig muna sa masayang tropa ng Talakayan.
PinoyRadio.com. What does it take to realize your dreams? To get you there, a vision and positive steps. The same goes to your financial future. At World Financial Group, we help middle-income families identify their dreams. It's never too early to start working towards your dreams. So I suggest you call Agnes Miranda today. Telephone number 416-702-9693. To secure your family's future, think of World Financial Group.
Ito po si Jessica Brias na bumabati ng isang magandang umaga, Toronto. Sa mga nakikinig sa amin sa kasalukuyan, ihanda na po ang balak gawin sa umagang ito. Huwag bibitiw, manatiling nakatutok sa Talakayan Radio Filipino. Ang Talakayan Management and Staff ay bumabati ng isang maligayang kaarawan sa ating kaibigan na si Karen Binaday at saya po ay birthday niya ngayon pero sabi niya hindi siya makakarating. Kaya baka tatawag na lang siya. Kaya tawagan mo na lang siya. Anyway, happy birthday sa iyo, Karen.
Happy birthday, Karen.
Happy birthday. Saka na yung blowout. Malagang kaarawan, Karen.
Ito po si Bobby Atchako ng IT Coordinator ng Talakayan na bumabati ng magandang umaga dito sa Toronto. At magandang gabi naman yung mga nakikinig sa atin around the world.
Ito naman si Joe Demesco, tagakalap ng balita sa labas sa kasaloob. Magandang umaga ho sa inyo lahat.
Tagakalat na ngayon? Nagkakalat ka na naman?
Chismis.
Magandang umaga po. Si Nelson Galvez po ito. Nandito na naman po ako sa Talakayan at good morning. Good evening sa nasa Pilipinas.
Welcome back, Nelson. And this is Tony Sanwan, your political commentator, saying good morning, good afternoon, and good evening throughout the world. And now, who would like to introduce, have the honor to introduce our special guest today, this morning. Our guest is a small business owner in York Center for 7 years. He is also a member of the organizing committee of the Taste of Asia Festival, not Taste of Manila, Taste of Asia Festival. And also he was past director of the Pangasinan Association of North America. Ito yung PANA na tinatawag. And also has been a 100 Club Award winner of Remax. This is a real estate company. 100 Club Award winner. I don't know what 100 means. Maybe a top 100 sales agent or something. And he's also a top producer in North America, ACN. ACN, I don't know what ACN means. Maybe our guest will explain this to us later. And also the past president of San Jacinto Association of North America. I don't know where San Jacinto is. Maybe in California or in the Philippines, or San Jacinto in Los Angeles or Pangasinan. This is also and also a superb organizer of the Typhoon Yolanda fundraising event sometime in 2013. Of course, for our listeners also, especially women, is married to Donna for 24 years. So wala na kayong pag-asa. So it's a pleasure to introduce to you today Ramon Estares, businessman, leader, community activist, hardworking Canadian, and he is currently seeking the nomination in York Center for the Liberal Ontario MPP, or member of the provincial parliament. It's a pleasure and honor once again to introduce Ramon, and welcome to Talakayan Radio Filipino.
Tito Tony, thank you so much. Magandang umaga po sa lahat ng nakikinig sa buong mundo. And I don't know if I'm gonna recognize each of you guys according to age or according to looks. Kasi lahat gwapo eh.
Your choice, your choice.
So, Tito Tony, thank you.
Okay.
Bobby, Joe, Tito Jess, and
Nelson.
Yan. Hindi yan, walang favoritism yan. Talaga lang nagkataon.
Okay, so anything else you like to greet also your listeners, your wife, not wives, your wife.
For all the volunteers and the member of the campaign team na nakikinig sa atin ngayon, alam ko maaga kayong gumising just to make sure that you are tuned in right now sa Talakayan. Maraming salamat sa suporta. And unang-una binabati ko po ang York Center Riding for being so good to us for so many months of door knocking, and we've been campaigning for almost 3 months. Kaya nagpapasalamat ako sa lahat po ng taga York Center for giving us the time to listen, at sa lahat po ng sumusuporta sa campaign, at sa lahat po ng mga tao or volunteers regardless of their ethnic background na tumutulong sa buong campaign. At thank you so much for the time that you gave to us para po maging bisita niyo sa Talakayan.
Okay, there you are. That's Ramon Estares running for nomination, Liberal Party MPP in York Center. Ramon, just the basic question, why are you running?
Tito Ton, it's a very good question. Before running, when someone or a group of people actually asked me to run a few months ago, I actually give it a great thought. And being MPP is something that's not, easy. It entails great responsibility. And, we have our own stories to tell. To give you a little bit of background, I am an immigrant. I've been working so hard for most of, my adult years. I've been working in the Middle East for so long. So basically, there's challenges along the way. And I just want to appreciate the fact that we are all blessed na nagkaroon tayo ng opportunity to come to a place na talagang we can call it home. We always seek for something na makakaganda sa buhay natin, and not only for us but our families and kids and people that are dependent on us. So nung with the help of, not just an opportunity but with the blessings from above, napunta ako sa Canada. I've seen some not really challenges but something that I can give back sa community, not just for Filipinos but someone that can relate to my story, and that exactly motivates me to run. And it's not a blessing in disguise. I think it's a plan because nangyayari as if na parang tuloy-tuloy yung opportunity to help and to serve. So what happened is there are people that actually not just to encourage me but to help me, basically to help our community. Na alam mo yung pasabi nila that it's time for you to shine. It's time for the community to take the lead, because at the end of the day, not just because that we are third highest in Canada in terms of the numbers ng immigrants, but we are also not been represented sa government for so long, at least in the provincial level. That's why for them it's high time for all of us to stand up and kind of make sure that at this very moment in the history, there's someone, or at least the country, the community, will start to lead, because it's high time for all of us, knowing the fact that ang dami-dami na natin dito as an immigrant. So what happened is, it's an inspiration for me to give back, because ever since, ako naman yung taong laging, I'm always open to serve. I don't know if it's because of my experience ng immigrant, but because kultura natin ang tumulong eh. So that inspires me really to make sure that give myself a chance, not just to run as a candidate, but also this is a better way for us, and for me especially, to give back and to serve.
Yeah, you mentioned about York Center. For the benefit of our listeners, what are the boundaries? Where is York Center, by the way?
Well, York Center is basically within Toronto area, and it's basically, if those people that are familiar with the demographics ng Toronto, it's basically Bathurst, yun yung riding Bathurst 401, and then to the west Jane, tapos half along Grand Ravine, nagiging Kill,
Yeah.
and then Stills, all
Yeah.
the way to Bathurst ulit.
Is it the same riding as the ward or something? Ward of York Center, is it the same in terms of boundaries?
I'm not so sure about the ward, because I think the ward is for the municipal boundaries.
Yes.
But for us, we call it riding.
Mhm.
So I'm not really so sure if it's the same, but I assume it's similar.
Okay, that's good. And right now we have, in terms of demographics, we have how many Filipinos are you targeting at York Center? I mean, in terms of residents or population.
Currently, we have at least 17% of the population living in York Center are Filipinos.
And there are about, what's the total population of York Center? About 60,000 or something?
I think it's more, around 100,000.
100,000. So 17% is how many?
17,000.
How many?
17,000.
Mga
17,000. So the target number, or the magic number, would be about half of that,
50%.
50% plus one. So we're targeting about how much? 7,000 or something?
If they vote all, maybe
Yeah,
around 18,000.
all right.
No, and
So we're talking only about Filipinos. In
Correct.
other ethnic groups or communities, there are more. Okay, we have other cultural communities there.
correct.
Okay, that's good. And in terms of, you said you're giving back should you win the nomination and eventually the election. Is there any pet project or a special bill or some sort of individual's bill or members bill that you would like to propose to Queen's Park or something?
Yes, so we have some small, not really small, but a little bit project, as I may say it. Once that, God willing, I'll become member
Yeah.
of the provincial parliament, and with so many days of knocking doors, meron silang mga concerns. One is the affordable housing.
Affordable housing.
Affordable housing.
Affordable housing is federal or provincial jurisdiction?
Provincial.
Or
Provincial.
municipal?
Provincial.
Provincial, okay,
Yes.
that's good. Okay, housing and what
Housing,
else?
and the other one is the accreditation of our educational, credentials.
Okay.
Marami tayong mga kababayan na they have that challenge. It's
Mhm.
not because that they're not qualified, but because yung accreditation minsan medyo mabagal ng konti, or minsan may mga requirements na hindi na meet. So if I am in the position to recommend or something that I can do on the level of provincial, I will also try to make sure that we can push that initiative para naman kahit pa paano ma-motivate or ma-empower yung mga kababayan natin that are professionals, and yet because of yung discrepancy or sometimes yung requirements ng credentials, hindi siya talaga nagtutugma. And just to give you an idea, most of our kababayans na they're on live-in caregiving programs are professionals.
Okay.
More than 60%. So isa yun sa mga initiative na gagawin natin, and given the chance that I become the MPP, we'll try to give them a little bit more thoughts and suggestions on how we can improve such a thing or such process.
Si Bobby yata may tatanong.
Di ba ang caregiver is federal coverage,
Correct.
not provincial?
Correct.
So how would you go about proposing legislations on a provincial level, whether the caregivers are on a federal level?
On accreditation.
Just accreditation.
Okay.
It's not really the.
No. Probably, the fact that we have been represented on a parliament, right? We have what we call a little bit of voice or concern. We can actually, let them know that these are concerned in more direct way. We have kind of connections in terms of the process. Unlike before, kung wala tayong representation, we ended up doing petition letters, recommendations, and we always let someone do it. But iba pa rin yung kalahi eh. Yung someone that can relate, someone that can feel the connection, someone that can empathize. Because at the end of the day, it's something that not just for the community, but it's an obligation for the riding and for the community.
Okay, yeah. Our producer Jess would like
I
to
was wondering, what is the major commodities, or what is the major company that is built in your area? What company ang meron dyan sa lugar mo? Central nito?
Yeah, industry, in terms of manufacturing or
in York Center?
Yeah, York Center.
Mostly services like restaurants, like grocery stores, some services. It's so good that you asked that, because in that particular area, karamihan mga small and medium scale business are owned by Filipinos.
Yeah.
And that we have some lawyers, we have some restaurants, we have some small mga financial institutions, mga remittances, and the good thing about that, they're all small and medium businesses, and they're thriving because of the location, because of the proximity, and because, in my opinion, that's the hub of immigrants. So it's a place for working class. It's a place where people start to thrive. And the good thing is it's thriving. It's every single year we see improvement. That's the place also for Taste of Manila. So it's a hub actually, not just for the community, but the hub of small and medium-sized businesses.
So you're saying there's no major industrial company or any production company?
Like Costco or whatever. There's no place there.
Yes, Kerry.
Yeah, actually, I mean, of course, there's pieces of the riding that are very residential. It's got a long history of being residential, but as you go towards Kiel and up Kiel, yes, you'll find the Costco's and the Walmarts. The Costco is within the riding over at Dufferin, between Dufferin and just before Dufferin on the way to Kiel. You'll find Walmart up on Kiel, and then you'll find north of Finch, east of Kiel, where the riding goes, is a significantly large business area. So we have small and medium-sized industrial businesses, small and medium-sized service businesses, all up between Dufferin and Kiel, Steeles, and pretty much Shepherd. You go along Chesswood, you'll see Planters, which is the old peanut brand that was purchased by the fellows who own John Vince. Actually, if you drive there the right time of day, you smell the peanuts. And
yeah, the question is about knowing what companies there are, and perhaps
what is running that area in terms of commodities or whatever. Is there that was I asked Costco. Is there a Thrifty? What kind of big companies do you have there?
Well, as what Karen says, that is a working environment where people are actually, residing on an apartments where they are on the working class. There's no such big commercial, institutions in there, because it's just an area where people actually, kind of use it as a hub.
Okay.
I
So
think
you're saying then that York Center has small and medium, but
Correct.
not the large scale
Correct.
companies like for example, Ford plant or
Yes.
Toyota
Yes.
or something. So it's small to medium, not necessarily large scale.
Correct.
Yes,
Well,
Bobby.
except for, don't forget Downtree Park and the history of Bombardier and
Oh yeah.
the items that are on there. That's still within the riding.
I think that's Kiel and Wilson. I think
That's correct.
Yeah.
west of
Yes,
Kiel.
yes.
Yeah.
No,
The
Shepherd. Keel and Shepherd.
Yeah. Yes, Bobby.
No, I was thinking that those small, medium are there. There's a lot. There's a Home Depot there.
Yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
somewhere.
Yeah.
It's mostly, but what you're referring to is production. I don't think it's only. I think the small plant of the Bombardier is the big,
Yeah,
industry.
yeah.
The rest
It's
are
more a
medium.
federal company or something. Yes, Joe. I think
Just, we had been talking about Filipino as our target market for the nomination. How about the ethnic group? The area, I believe, is composed of Southeast Asian and African. And do you have a group or volunteer group that is campaigning for you there?
Yes, as a matter of fact, we have some groups that are helping us to reach out for our South Asian friends. We have group that actually helping us to reach out our Muslim friends. The Latinos are coming in. We have some volunteers that are from Russian groups. So we have that diversification, but of course, the leading group that supports us is our community.
good. And we'll just interrupt for a while for commercial break.
Kumusta kabayan? Ito si Rafael Nebres, General Manager ng Action Honda. Para makatipid, mapabilis, pagbili ng Honda sasakyan, kami laging may paraan. Laging may sales events at promotion, tama sa iyong kakayahan. Please call us at 416-281-1234, 416-281-1234. Bibili ka o hindi, it's always my pleasure to talk to our kababayan. Mabuhay!
Hello po, ito si Belita Corrales. Kumusta na kayong lahat? Sa yumak na magsama-sama, ipadala ang ating cargo. Serbisyo ay hindi nagbago. Ang yumak ay totoo. Saan pa man ang iyong pamilya, ang yumak ay mayroong serbisyo. Kahon ninyo'y walang peligro. Darating, maayos at magaling.
Kayo nakikinig sa Talakayan.
PinoyRadio.com.
And now it's my time to do some commentary about political development and the Philippines. And the first one that I'd like to mention is about the President Duterte has withdrawn or is withdrawing the Philippines membership from the ICC. As you know, ICC is the International Criminal Court, and the Philippines as a country is or was a signatory to the Rome Statute sometime in 1963 or earlier than that. And this is criminal court has been established to run after criminals in certain countries that are members of the ICC, and the Philippines is a candidate of being accused or being charged with something about the extrajudicial killing. And because of this situation, the president has decided to withdraw from membership. According to him, the withdrawal is effective immediately, so he cannot be touched by the ICC regulations. But according to some, especially the ICC court, says that membership is only effective after 1 year of withdrawal. So, hindi natin malaman kung alin doon na masusunod. So, effective ngayon or the other day, wala nang membership tayo sa ICC, so they cannot run after President Duterte in terms of extrajudicial killings in the Philippines. Yun ang iniiwasan doon, di ba? So, ang sabi naman ng Kwan, no, your withdrawal will take effect only 1 year after. So, that will be in 2019. What do you think? Bobby?
Depende yan sa declaration ng kanilang pinirmahan.
Oo.
O nandoon, so wala siyang
Yeah, it's part of the law or the regulation that they're signatory. They're still liable. I mean to say the Philippines is still liable for any criminal prosecution.
Not the Philippines, but the person who's in charge.
Yeah. That means the president, of course, the president. And another development also is that the House of Representatives in the Philippines also approved the postponement of the barangay in Sangguniang Kabataan elections. It has been postponed from May 14 to October 8, 2018. So, tatlong postponement na ito. There are two already. Sometime in 2016, it has been postponed to October 2017. Hindi nangyari. And then now, October 8, 2018. What do you think is the reason behind the postponement of this, barangay or Samahang Kabataan or Sangguniang Kabataan?
It's a waste of money to do that.
Waste of money.
Wala naman silang role sa...
Wala namang gagawin. They can do nothing.
Oh, the Sangguniang Kabataan.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and barangay.
Yeah, but remember, the barangay is a local government unit in the Philippines. It's part of the process of keeping people safe and secured.
Okay.
And this also they are also
what
engaged.
What happened to the municipal government?
Yeah,
it's part of the local government unit.
There's a difference between the barangay set up and the barangay of the community. Iba yun eh. The barangay, when they say barangay, the entire Philippines is controlled by that group. Hindi na ngayon. May kanya-kanya ng grupong barangay.
No, each town or municipality has its own barangay unit.
Right.
And each barangay unit, they have their own chairman, they have their own board members too. And they are engaged also in policing to a certain degree about the peace and order within that barangay unit. And in terms of domestic violence or domestic problems, they try to
to settle it
amicably without going to the court. Now, Sangguniang Kabataan is more of a council of the youth, helping out, provide advisory, and counsel to barangays and to other political, administration or something.
I think that kind of setup should be left to the provincial government. Hindi sa national government na mag-implement. Dapat every local government, like a provincial, sila mag-implement whether they would create a youth council or things like that.
Well,
it's a waste of
remember
money kasi bibigyan pa sila ng budget, so ano gagawin mo sa pera? Wala naman silang nagagawa, di ba?
Meron naman.
But not impacting the whole community.
Maybe they like to remove the barangay operation because of they are also engaged or involved in drug dealing in the Philippines. Some of them, not all.
That the postponement of that barangay election is whether it continues to be existing or not, right? Because if you postpone it, the incumbent people in that barangay are still going to be getting their money, right?
They are incumbent.
They're still incumbent. Continuous pa rin yan. Ang election will only say anong people's choice, na. Ang palagay ko dyan is that they haven't cleaned up the barangay area yet, because a lot of the feedback earlier was that a lot of people in that yung group na yan is involved in drugs.
Yeah, okay. Moving along, the Congress also, through Senate Bill 1738, would like to have a uniform and national ID system in the Philippines. In Canada, we have that. We have the social insurance number. We have that, you cannot hide from social insurance number because you have all the
number.
The numbers there. And they would like to propose this ID system, national ID system of about 110 million Filipinos. So it will cost the government 2 billion to implement this ID system. Okay ba sa inyo ito? At ang sabi nila, once they gather the information, you will be assigned a PhilSys number or Philippine System number. In our case, we have this SIN. And then the demographics that you need to present will be your name, gender, date and place of birth, your address, biometrics like facial image, fingerprints, your iris scan. So yun ang kakon mo, and then that will be established now as your ID. As yes.
6 years ago, that was proposed. That was proposed already, and I think one of the major problem they had is anything these people do can be reproduced at the Scaraga.
Sa recto.
Recto.
Okay.
So it's a waste. No, that time, 6 years ago, it's a waste for them to put up a system that can be falsified by the Scaraga group.
Okay.
Kaya nilang gawin yun.
Yeah, aside from cost, say 2 billion, is this advantageous? Is this beneficial to all Filipinos? You have an ID system, so there's no more showing of the driver's license card, what they call the health card. There's no. It's only one ID system, so it becomes part of the database, and transaction would be faster, easier, and
Whether to implement that for the older generation, medyo mahirap kasi marami ng mga identification, probably yung mga bagong panganak.
Okay, have your reason. All right.
Wala, hindi pwede yung bagong panganak kasi kailangan yung biometrics.
Yeah, saka sa bagong start anew. Start with the fresh record.
Kaya si Joe natin, hindi na pwedeng magtago, ano?
Hindi na pwede.
Tsaka hindi pa pwedeng tina-tina ng buhok doon.
Hindi naman siya Filipino citizen.
Ganun ba?
Dual.
Dual daw siya, dual. And my last comment is about the House of Representatives also, again in the Philippines, approved in final reading a measure declaring January 18 of every year as a special non-working holiday for people who are considered kasambahay or domestic helpers. Okay, ang mga kasambahay na ito, yung tinatawag na laundry woman, yung nursing aide or nurse aide na tinatawag, yung mga gardener. What do you think of this
Day
bill?
off sila dyan sa araw na yan?
Day off.
So, paralisado ang buong Pilipinas yan. Wala kang driver.
Hindi, schedule naman siguro.
Hindi, one day lang yan.
One day lang yan.
Hindi, one day nga. Pero sasabihin, wag ka muna
Wala
ngayon.
magluluto
Wag ka muna ngayon
Wala maglalaba ngayon.
Okay.
Wala magdadrive ngayon.
Isang araw lang.
Okay.
Parang lisado ang Pilipinas yan.
Well, iyon ang naman, para naman ma-recognize yung mga kasambahay.
Kasambahay.
Remember, they introduced a minimum wage for
Maraming boss
housemaid or something like that. You'll at least 4,000 pesos per month. Ngayon. Diba?
Yeah.
But those not covered are those on occasional basis.
May
yung
health benefit.
2 or 3 times. May health benefits pa. So, yun lang po ang pananaw ni Tony San Juan, and let's move along, and we will have we'll have to resume our discussion with our MPP candidate here, Liberal for York Center, Ramon Estares. Any question would you like to ask, Ramon? I think you have a good question before we...
The one that I asked off the air? I was asking what is the most important need of the riding of the York region as of now that you think you can be instrumental in helping out.
So you mean issues or concerns? Issues or concerns.
It's not issue. It's the need.
It's the major need.
Okay. All right.
What do you need?
In Canadian parlance, it's called issues. Okay.
Issues.
Not needs. All right. That's okay. That's a very good question. I believe Ramon can answer that.
Yeah. When I started campaigning, I have my own thoughts of what's the pressing needs ng riding. Pero nung nagkakatok na ako at nalaman ko na kung ano yung gusto ng mga tao, and what they're really telling me is affordable housing.
Before, what was in your mind?
For me, is basically creating a program for small and medium businesses. Because I've been there for years at nakita ko yung improvement ng mga negosyo doon. And it's thriving. Karami mga startup business doon sa area natin. If you happen to be on Bathurst and Wilson area, lahat ng makikita natin doon puro mga negosyo that actually small and medium, and others are startup.
You're not talking about the Filipino community.
No,
in the area,
not just the Filipino community.
Yeah, so the one that you were saying about affordable housing is not only for the Filipino community.
Yes, because you will notice na sa area yon, alam yung high-rise buildings and people are renting. Not just our community, but every single community that has been represented. And every time I connect with these communities, they're always asking about the possibility of makita yung yung talagang program to give them some sort of affordable housing, not only to rent but also the possibility of these communities to own their own house.
When you say affordable, what is affordable?
Well, sa akin ang affordable is something that people can really pay it in a way that they are not pressured, something that's fair. Siguro, and this is just my opinion, siguro pag ang building medyo matagal nang nakatayo yan, medyo nabawi na yung puhunan ng mga yan right? So
the rental should go down.
Definitely, right? Yeah, but again, this is just something that I'll try to recommend or try to
kumbaga sa kumbaga you were involved in real estate, right? So yung mga lumang bahay diyan, dapat yan mura na yan.
Not necessarily.
There is a market value.
There's a market value. Ang dami kasing diyan parameters location, kahit na luma yung building mo, kung yung location naman nagtatrive.
Nasa core area yan, di ba?
Right. So it's always a balance of opinion But again, if we move forward and start looking for an alternative for affordable housing, and we always inform the people that we're working and trying to act on their behalf to give them fair, to give them kind of justifiable rental cost.
Kasi pagka ginawa mong $100 per month yung mga
units
yan, sabi sa'yo, kakapusin ka na ng units yan. Everybody will be going to try to go there.
Hindi naman. Kaya nga yung program ng party kind of helping people to somehow making them feel that they are taken care of, not just on that aspect of housing, but a lot more.
Yeah, you mentioned about rental housing or rent control. I believe I have read somewhere in the papers that PC candidate for, of course, for premier or for for prime minister is against some sort of rent control. He would like something about let the market dictate. So in that case, there will be some confusion there, or there will be some changes in terms of rent control legislation. Maaaring, if say let the market dictate, that means some rental apartments will go up in terms of rental, in terms
Location.
of location. So what do you think of that statement or pronouncement from the candidate of the PC party, Ramon?
Okay, here's my thought about the rental control issue. Kung tayo po ay nagrerenta ng bahay, marami tayong mga reasons kung bakit tayo nagrerenta ng bahay doon eh. One is malapit sa trabaho. Other, it's just because schools are closer. Yung iba naman, convenience, proximity. Now, depende sa needs ng tao yan. Sometimes, ano bang focus mo? Right? Convenience, or it's just for you to kind of yung survival. Now, in terms of rental, ganito yon. In my opinion, it's not only about the location. It's the value ng tinitirhan natin. So, example, titira ko sa isang apartment sa Bathurst and Wilson. Ano bang benefit sa akin nun? Is it worth for me to pay that high? Kasi makakatipid ako ng pamasahe. Or makakatipid ako ng oras. Yun yung mga premiums na babayaran eh. So, depende sa value kung ano yung gusto mong ma-achieve. Now, about the issue of iko-control ba ang renta or hindi. So, opinion ko dapat eh.
It must be controlled.
It must be.
So the current legislation, the current rule, rent control should stay.
Should stay, and we have to find better ways to implement.
Okay, so remember those units are owned by investors. So the investors might probably pull out. So those units won't be available anymore.
Okay, yung mga investors na yan, they've been forecasting what will be the cost and what will be the profit years bago yan tinayo.
Yeah.
Yeah, they know already the development in that area years bago yan tinayo. So there's a plan, there's a projected income, and there's a projected return of investments.
So you're actually against rent control. Is that
No.
what you're saying?
I am against. Yes, I am against that.
You're against, because if the other party would form a government, they would consider rent control as passé, and they say they're gonna maybe abolish that, change it, because right now I think rent control is no increase of some units 2% higher every year, something like that, unless there are some improvements. So you're against that. So that's the other party says no, let the market dictate. So you will oppose that? Just
I will.
Okay, very good. Okay, affordable housing. I mean, you say it's more of there's no actual jurisdiction in this because you have the federal, maybe the municipal, and the provincial government engaged in affordable housing, right? So by affordable housing, you mean like construction, more construction in terms of housing. Let's say more apartment units or something, or more residential units or something.
Again, it's consultation. Depende sa lugar yan eh. So, specifically sa York Center. Pag nakikita nyo dyan, it is a very vibrant community. And yung mga high-rise apartments. People of those, areas mostly are rentals. So, kung merong affordable housing na ilalagay, let's say, ang gobyerno natin, right, siguro pinakamaganda in that area. So that at least at the end of the day, yung mga residents in that area na nagrerenta ng medyo mataas, because the location on that area is very centralized in terms of yung location ng mga trabaho, so medyo mahal lang konti. So I think in that particular area, right, pwede pa tayo maglagay ng affordable housing dyan eh. We have some probably vacant lots in that area that we can ask the government, to create affordable housing in that area. We might convert some areas na hindi pa naman nagagamit, and probably that will be used many years from now na vacant lang doon, if we can convert that one for now as a place for affordable housing. so that yung mga hindi nakakayanan ang high cost of rental can use that as an alternative.
Good. Good.
Saan ba ang mga vacant lands? Kasi ang nakikita ko, ang vacant land dyan is yung Downsview area, and that all is already filled up. And the rest are open space for parks and, under the regional...
Are there perhaps urban planning or something?
Correct.
Yeah.
No, ang sinasabi ko is if in case that there will be an empty space that can be converted through the initiative of the government or provincial level, then I might recommend that it can be used, to construct affordable housing.
Okay, Joe?
When you said it's affordable housing, ito ba it's being built up by the government or private investors?
It's a good point of discussion. Kasi syempre the government needs consultation, needs deliberation for the budget and all the stuff sa provincial level. If in case that it falls within the provincial level, of course there's a consultation. So there's now the thought of developer ba ang gagawa? Now ang isipin naman developer, ano naman ang profit namin if we're gonna provide an affordable housing? Is it something that is feasible for the investors? So there's always a balance. Siguro dyan papasok yung tinatawag na incentives, right? It might not be in terms of monetary, but kind of long-term incentive. Siguro posibleng sabihin that if you will help us build this, then we're gonna give you a little bit exposure sa market about the initiative that you are doing with the government. I'm not so sure, but again, ang gagawin ko if I'm elected is to make sure that there's a balanced proposal na hindi tayo it's not unfair for each proponents ng project. So it might be a combination of a private sector and the government, or there might be initiative that will come from the government, to provide affordable housing, because at the end it's something that not just the provincial, municipal or federal, that will benefit if we have those projects in place.
Yeah, and we have to remember that the provincial government, it doesn't do everything, but as you put together a policy, you work with your federal partners, you work with your municipal partners. Take a look at the subway that's been extended up into Vaughan through Kiel, partly through York Centre, up at the Finch West Station, and up into Vaughan and into York University. Money from the federal, money from the municipal, money from the provincial, all of it essential, and responsibilities that came from each level of government. So with affordable housing, you're looking the same. If the government decides that they want to see a certain result, they work with their partners, they work with their municipalities to direct them, whether it be by grants, by assigning budget, or supporting certain things, or on the other side, making certain things more expensive. And I'm a landlord for, well, in the family, we're 50 years landlords. Apartments, small houses, and I'm going to tell you, rent control is annoying because you can't raise the rents as much as you want. On the other side, I'm also a tenant, as it happens. And rent control is very good because I don't want everybody to be able to raise the rents as much as they want. So I like the balance that we have in the province.
Okay, you said balance, but Ramon here is against rent control, so he's against the pronouncement of the PC party about let the market dictate in terms of rent control. That's his pronouncement about 3 days ago. Okay, let's move on. Is there any platform right now that you would like to promote being a candidate for nomination, not only affordable housing, not only professional accreditation? Is there any other issues that you would like to address should you become successful in this campaign and later on the Queen's Park?
Yeah, before I'm gonna go on that aspect, I'd like first to let the viewers know what the party has been done so far. And I was so excited to let everyone knows that with the initiative of the party, in terms of some aspects of, let's start with the OHIP Plus, right? Since January the 1st, we implemented OHIP Plus. So youth ages 24 and below have an access to prescription drugs for free. So, dyan sa aspeto na yan, kung magulang ka at meron kang anak na 24 years old
Younger.
and below and younger, right, hindi mo na problema yung mga gamot, yung mga basic na prescription drugs na binibigyan ng doktor. All you have to do, magpunta ka sa parmasya, show their OHIP, and they're gonna give you yung prescription medicine na kailangan.
Yeah.
Diyan lang sa aspetong yan, napakalaki ng tulong sa atin eh. Second is yung sa OSAP. 220,000 plus students that are post-secondary students, buying for either a university degree or the diploma. Meron na silang pagkakataon na mag-aral ng libre.
Is it effective now or is starting this coming school year?
Since January the 1st.
Of this year?
Of this year.
Okay.
So, imagine yung mga anak natin that are, to serve, na magkolehiyo or magpunta university, we have an opportunity to send them to school. Pangatlo, yung kindergarten, right? Full day na ngayon. So, pag, a working mom ka or, you are trying to work extra para, nagdagan ng kita, then hindi mo na problema, at least pag mayroon kang anak na within that level, right, na 4 or 6 hours lang a day.
Yeah.
Full day na siya.
Para naman sa senior, may kindergarten, so may sa senior. What are the benefits for us seniors too?
Okay. Pupunta tayo dyan, Tony.
Sige, go ahead.
Pupunta tayo dyan. According to age muna.
Sige. All right, go ahead.
Tapos, we also invested millions of dollars, okay, para sa long-term care sa mga seniors. Right? For the next 4 years, we're planning to put up 5,000 extra beds and 10,000 or 30,000 until the end of the decade. Yun ang plano. Right? And for me personally, sa riding kasi ng New York Center, napakaraming seniors dyan. Right? So, sa akin, ang gusto ko or part of my campaign is to give accessibility to seniors in terms of transportation. We have to enhance that. Second is yung accessibility sa prescription drugs, right? At siguro enhance yung home care. May mga seniors kasi that they want to stay at home. Kaya lang dahil mga walang time or yung iba is they can't afford to stay in home for the seniors. So we have to look for a program that we can address such. Kasi remember yung mga seniors yan ang mga pillar ng community. So we have to take care of them.
Yeah. Just one last issue before because it's almost time. What about hydro bills? Because your party is always being accused, shall we say, of the increasing hydro bills or something.
Okay,
what can we do about it?
Okay, unang-una, kumbaga hindi naman ang party ang nagdi-dictate, right, ng hydro bills eh. First, it's yung law of supply and demand. That's one. Second, we invested on what we call clean energy, right? It's something that we have to address right now, kasi if we not address, the ones that will suffer are the generations to come. Buti tayo, nag-enjoy na tayo sa clean energy noon eh.
Yeah.
Remember when we used to have that lamps and candles, and but because of some abuses, not just because of wrong decisions, but because of maraming factors from the factories nagiging ang environment natin nagiging nakukompromiso na. So we have to step up. I know it's something that there's a challenge, but we have to stood up and start proposing clean energy because it's high time for us, especially yung mga warning signs of the environment. We have to stood up. So may premium ng konti pero long-term benefit, it's for all of us.
Okay, thank you very much. I believe Nelson will...
Yes, punta naman tayo dito sa ang Toronto Syndicated Network ay nagpapasalamat sa mga nakinig at nakikinig sa amin for the past 13 years. Kayo po ang nagsilbing inspirasyon ng Talakayan Radio Pilipino.
Yan mga kaibigan, nasa kakbuntot na po tayo ng programa. So paring ang ating guest na si Ramon ay magpapaalam o magsasalita ng ibang ibig sabihin sa mga nakikinig sa atin yan?
Maraming salamat sa Talakayan Group at ako'y nagpapasalamat na naimbita nyo kami rito. And to all that are listening that within the York Center riding, I'm so grateful for all your support. It's been days and months that we're campaigning and doing a lot of stuff for the campaign. Nagpapasalamat ako sa lahat ng volunteers. And here's one thing that I want to share with you guys. For so many years in the history of the entire government, on the provincial government, there's none or even a single person that has been elected, right, as a Filipino community. Now, we just want to make sure that at this very moment in the history of provincial politics in Ontario, let's unite. There is a few candidates, but right now, there's one that is stooding up, and not just a Canadian, but proud to be Filipino. Magsama sa hapon tayong lahat and nominate me as the next MPP for York Center and the Liberal Party. My name is Ramon Estaris. Nagpapasalamat po.
How can you be reached? Is there any email or
Contact
website that we can reach you, we can contact you, or some volunteers or some donors that would like to share with you something?
Yes, para po sa mga nakikinig at gusto pong tumulong and those people that wants to be a member and want to be volunteer for my campaign, you can actually log in at www.voteramon.ca. Again, it's www.voteramon.ca, or you can email us at info@voteramon.ca, or for those of you that has access to phones, you can call us at 437-886-6425. Again, it's 437-886-6425.
Yan po si Ramon Estaris. And
Papaalam na tayo ngayon para kahit sobrang na sa oras natin.
Okay.
Tony, magpaalam ka na.
According to age, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and this is Tony Salman saying goodbye and see you next Saturday. We'll have Earl Dakara, President of the Bicol Canada, who will be our special guest. Paalam na po at ingat lang. Be safe and good luck, Ramon.
Sino yung bagong dating?
Nelson.
Nelson. Paalam ka na rin.
Maraming salamat. Until next week.
Sa ating mga tagapakinig dyan sa gitnang York Center at of course ito na pagkakataon natin, Pilipino, mabuhay ka.
Ito si Bobby po sa susunod ng Sabado alas 10 hanggang alas 11. Vote for Ramon Estaris.
Ayan, ako po ang aking pananaw, basta Pilipino ka, tutulungan natin, di ba?
Okay.
Regardless of any political situation, basta Pilipino ka, kasama ka namin.
Alright.
Okay? Hanggang sa susunod Sabado, kami po ay namamaalam na ano man ang ibig yung talakayan namin sa Sabado o by ibig kayong balikatin namin. Tumawag lang po kayo sa 416-441-2887 o mag-email po kayo sa jcabri2887@rogers.com. Salamat po at magandang hapon.
Thank you for listening to Talakayan.
PinoyRadio.com.
The hours fade, the moments fly, and time never stands still. We now look into the pool of memories and pause a while in pious meditation to think of the things we did and did not do but should have done, and hope that in tomorrow we shall improve upon today. Good day, pleasant weekend, Diyos mabulos sa indong gabos.
Inyong natungayan ang isa na namang pagtatanghal na ang programang Talakayan, Radyo Pilipino. Hanggang sa susunod na Sabado para sa mga usaping napapanahon at mga ulat na dapat bigyan ng tuon. Talakayan, Radyo Pilipino.